Hey everybody, September is here and it's time for our new beer of the month. Our beer style this month is porters. Porters are a really old, about 300-year-old style for beer. And it's kind of an unusual story there. Porters were originally made as a blend of different ages of ales in taverns in the days before refrigeration, people drinking fresh beer. And people would ask for a blend of an old beer and a young beer or a dark beer and then something a little bit lighter to get the flavor they wanted. And one particular blend, which became known as the Three Threads, because it was a blend of 3 different beers, was a favorite with the porters of London at the time. This was in the early 18th century in London. And it became known as porter beer. It became so popular that breweries began creating a sort of dark ale to mimic that same flavor without having to mix all sorts of different beers together, and it became very popular indeed and was known as porter. Places like the Guinness Brewery started out brewing porter. They didn't make stout until much later. In fact, stout started as porters. A strong porter was called a stout porter, and as things went along and stouts became more popular, it became known as stouts. That's a story for another time. Anyway, this week we're celebrating all things porters. Porters are dark, but they're not as beefy or toasty or bitter as a stout. They actually have very sort of round, malty, chocolatey, light coffee notes to them that make them excellent for pairing with all sorts of fall dishes, pumpkins, roasted vegetables, meats of all different kinds, and especially desserts, chocolate, cheese, creme brulee, things like that. Really, really good with. They have varying degrees of intensity. Some are a little bit softer, some are a little bit bigger. Depends really on the whim of the person who's making it. But in general, you'll find these rounded sort of malted milk ball flavors in all these beers, and they're really quite a treat. A lot of people who say that they don't like dark beers are actually quite pleasantly surprised to find that a porter is soft enough to be that sort of gateway beer to something darker. They're really, really that good. So we have a little display here going of some porters that we like, and they'll be changing and evolving as the month goes along. So come on by. I hope you can find something new here on our beer style of the month, porter.